For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliot Apollos, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.
No One to Blame is sponsored by Altered Grounds Landscaping, the area's top professional landscape company. They're family-owned and operated business serving St. Louis and the Metro East for 20-plus years. Their mission is to make your home or business stand out from the rest. They offer free consultations year-round. Get $300 off your project of $3,000 or more with code AGNOTB. That's code AGNOTB. They're booking pools for the upcoming summer season. So if you are having any thoughts about getting a pool for this upcoming summer, stay ahead of the game and contact them now for any of your pool project needs.
There's no one to blame, there really is no one to blame. But I swear to God, it's my fucking fault. It's a better sports podcast. It's my fucking fault, but there's no one to blame. Neffy Kevin do. Neffy Kevin do.
Do it.
Neffy Kevin
Don't listen to what I say or whatever kind of peer pressure I'm telling you.
Do it.
Oh, fucking do it again.
I know there's really nobody to blame for this but myself. Well, I don't know, maybe the Buffalo Bills, the Boston Red Sox, or Mr. T, or the Jets.
Wait a minute, Mr. T, are you telling me that you bet on the fight in Rocky 3 and that you bet against Rocky?
Hindsight is 20/20, my friend.
Hindsight is always 20/20, my friend. Welcome in. No One to Blame Tuesday edition. We got a jam-packed show for you. We're going to be recapping some Wildcard Weekend. Wild it was. Very profitable weekend for the No One to Blame crew. We'll be talking college football playoffs. Are we going to run that video again?
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs?
Kev, what's
classic.
up, brother?
That is a classic. That never gets old.
Dude, I went to my parents' house to watch the Bills game. Massive victory for the Bills. And my mom was, what was that thing you guys kept playing on the show? Something about the playoffs. Shout out, Kel. Had to teach her a little bit about
a little history lesson.
Yeah, man. And we had an awesome weekend of Wild Card. We're going to recap all of the games. A little bit different format for the playoffs. We only have so many games. We're going to hit them all. We're going to talk a little college football playoff first, Kev. We recapped Notre Dame beating Penn State. We recapped Ohio beating Texas. These two teams are playing each other. Ohio, an 8-point favorite on Monday, January 20th, 6 days from today. How are you feeling about this matchup, Kev? Does Notre Dame have a chance?
I guess they've got a chance, a fighting chance, but, they have the potential to muck it up maybe. And, but I like Ohio State. They got more talent on the offensive side of the ball. They're more explosive on the offensive side of the ball. I just don't think Notre Dame offensively can keep up. Now, granted, I said that the previous game, but Ohio State's the best team going right now. So I don't see it.
I know. And tough news for Notre Dame. The right tackle is out. And I believe the second string is also out. So I think it's a third stringer that's going to be playing. I also think their running back, was it their running back? Love was nicked up too.
He's been nicked up. Yeah, he's been banged up for a while, kind of playing on
Right.
one leg, but
And then I think a defensive lineman as well, dude. So, I mean, Notre Dame, dude. Awesome run, dude. I think how have you felt about the college football playoff format? First year in, what do you think?
yeah, we talked about it early on. Maybe they didn't get the seating right, but you know, Ohio State gets hot. They're the best team playing right now, and they're in the championship. You can maybe argue Notre Dame isn't the second best team, but hey, the end of the year they got hot. Hey, that's
got to play the games.
People always say, oh, in the NFL, dude, the hot teams that get in the playoffs, same thing, go on runs. The Giants shouldn't even have been in the playoffs when they won the Super Bowl one of them years.
Right.
The Arizona Cardinals, if you remember when they played Pittsburgh in the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, dude. That was an awesome Super Bowl, dude.
Oh, no.
James Harrison before the half, returning that fumble, like 99 yards, dude.
The touchdown, dragging the feet on the side of the – oh, my – yeah, great game. Arizona shouldn't have been in. I mean, they got hot.
Brought up so many good memories, dude.
Oh,
yeah, and you're absolutely right there. Dude, we had this thing at my buddy's dad had this thing, and it was like do you know what a lazy Susan is? It's that circle thing, it'll spin. Well, it was for bottles of liquor, and he poured them upside down, and he spun this thing, and whatever one it landed on, you put your shot glass underneath it, and it would disperse it. So surprisingly, I have memories from that game, but now I'm with you, dude. But I mean, looking back on this bracket, Kev, like, Tennessee, being in, SMU being in, Indiana being in, I think Old Miss should have been in. They were a stronger team in my opinion.
I think, because there was so much change in the conferences, that happening at the same time we did the first playoff bracket, kind of coming together at one time, kind of mucked it up a little bit. If you would have had a traditional conference year, like say everybody was back in their conferences, you would have had your kind of your blue bloods in there. So I think that kind of threw it off a little bit. Obviously ACC being down, rubbed people the wrong way with SMU and Clemson and, that both them teams, but you get the top 12 teams in, you're good. You might screw up 12 and 13, 12 and 14. I'm okay with that. As long as you're not screwing up the number 4 team in the country and the number 5 team. You're talking about good teams at that point. Like used to the 5th team wouldn't even get into the scenario. So now, good. Them guys are getting in. You could fight over 12, 13 if you want. I'm not going to.
I am.
Have an opinion on it. Oh yeah, I'll have an opinion on it, but NCAA tournament, you could have 64 teams in and somebody's going to complain about 65, 66.
Right.
So it is what it is.
The teams complaining that didn't get in, that went out and lost their bowl games, like Miami, Alabama, you guys, but Ole Miss, I know they were playing a Duke team with a backup quarterback and stuff, but they went out and thumped them. We made a bunch of money on the show from that game. We had team total, we laid the points, we had first, and we were all over it. But dude, Jackson Dart. And I know you and I had talked a little bit off air about Jackson Dart, and you had a pretty hot take, dude. What were you thinking about Jackson Dart?
Every year in the draft, it happens. Every year, from Baker Mayfield to Kyler Murray, Zach Wilson, going into the draft process, these guys were not top 5 picks. Every year, they fall in love. They watch the tape. An owner falls in love. Scouts, whatever, trying to make a stand for a guy, whatever it is. Guys move up into the top 5 to 8 picks at the quarterback position. And I just think Jackson Dart, when it's all said and done, he will be a top top 3 pick, second,
lag.
third quarterback.
You
We
good?
good?
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Good? Okay.
Yep.
Not sure where we lost me, but he's going to be the third quarterback taken, if not the second. It happens every year.
Yeah, Kev, so your internet's getting fuzzy. You might have to pop out and pop back in. Yeah, man. Jackson Dart, I think, is going to be a there you go. Jackson Dart, to Kevin's point, I love what I saw from this kid. And you even heard that he was living with Lane Kiffin. You know, Lane Kiffin, a little bit quarterback whisperer. Like, I've always liked what I've seen from Lane Kiffin. I think Jackson Dart is a potential better NFL prospect than some of these other guys, Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders. I think Jackson Dart's a better prospect than, who else would you put in the top? Shedeur, Cam Ward. I mean, who else are you putting up there that could be like a top 5 pick?
So you got Jalen Milroe, Dylan Gabriel, Will Howard.
Milroe really going to be that high though? I mean, dude, his draft stock just plummeted in that game against Michigan. Dude.
Yeah,
he had 3 turnovers on like 5 plays. Like, oh my gosh.
And that's my point is Jackson Dart. Whenever the film starts getting rewatched, the only bad game that he had is one that I seen live, watched it on TV. Was the Florida game, and he could not have played any worse. He could not stop turning the ball over. You take that game out, he's the third, if not early on. I haven't broken down close enough yet, but I might have him ahead of Sanders when it's all said and done.
Dude, I'm with you. I'm with you, man.
So,
and we're going to be covered. As a network, we'll be covering all of the off-season draft stuff, especially for the Buffalo Bills. Kevin and I will get into other teams outside of the Buffalo Bills. I'm sure Dew will as well. I'm pretty sure we'll be covering the Senior Bowl as a network, Dew Champions Media. So we love the draft, and not just for the Buffalo Bills. We are a Buffalo-based network, but we're much more than that. So yeah, man, Ohio State minus 8 points might not be enough. I don't know how Notre Dame's going to score. It's not like they were, throwing all over Penn State. Ohio State's just got so much talent, and it's the last one, dude. They've been so juiced up and jacked up for every single game. Like, I don't know, man. They're going to be ready to come out and play. And Notre Dame will give them a little bit of a fight, but Notre Dame's going to have to get up early. I don't think that that's something they can do. I don't know. Ohio State by 10. I'm not sure if I'm gonna touch much on this, dude, because I got that Ohio State plus 550 ticket in my back pocket. I might just sit back, kick back, and watch this whole thing play out. Now, if you did play Ohio State plus 550, if you wanted to go ahead and hedge, because you just think that there's a chance that Notre Dame could win, dude, this is the type of spot to do it. Notre Dame plus 290 on the money line, probably plus 300 or more. Great opportunity to hedge there. If you could take a team who's going to end up as that big of a favorite in a championship game, and you could take the other side at almost 3-1 odds, dude, that's a dream scenario if you're into that. I'm going to let it ride. It wasn't like it was $1,000 or anything like that. It was a small wager on Ohio State plus 550. So I'm just gonna let it ride, dude. You got any more thoughts about that game? It should be a good game, I think.
Interesting. There's some talk that the Bears are maybe interested in interviewing Freeman for the head coaching job.
Yeah, the Bears and they're also aren't they interviewing Fat McCarthy as well?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is a great little segue. Before we get to that, divisional round. Oat. What up, Oat? Oat in the chat. W's in the chat for Oat. awesome comment here and good question from my boy here, Otis. Is there a date set to cover Matty D and ketchup and mustard? If you're not familiar with what we are talking about there, Kev, roll the footage, man, from last episode of No One to And we were just in our group chat talking shit as we do. Matt expressed his love for the Steelers to win outright this weekend in Baltimore, to which I replied, show bet. Immediately had to hop on that. The value was way
Good job,
too good.
Matt.
Value is way too good. If you listen to No One to Blame, you know that we've been wanting to do a Pinto Ron bet for the longest time. If you're not familiar with Pinto Ron, if you're not in Bill's Mafia, Pinto Ron gets covered with ketchup and mustard at every single tailgate before the game. Show bet one more time. Matt has got the Pittsburgh Steelers to win outright. I have got the Baltimore Ravens to win outright. Loser will get Pinto Ron live on air once the weather hits 50 degrees in Buffalo, New York, wearing the other team's jersey. Matt, it's a bet.
It's a bet. It's a bet. We got to remember, though, Zay Flowers is out this week, and you got to remember Mike Tomlin's record against Baltimore in the playoffs.
Yep,
So.
and you got to remember that Pittsburgh blows.
Easy money. Easy money.
Yep, we're going to make
Slop
him
up. Yep.
make him squeal like a little piggy, dude, is what we're going to do. I don't know what Matt was thinking there. Matt may be the worst gambler at Do Champions. But hey, he had a lot of conviction. Yep, it's Pinto Matt, dude.
Pinto Matt in the house.
So once it hits 50 degrees in Buffalo, which may never happen again, looking at the forecast, but if it ever does, Matt will be covered in ketchup and mustard. It will be live streamed. It will not be a video. Matt will be wearing a Baltimore Ravens jersey. It's going to be epic.
Yeah, he might have hedged his own bet with that temperature he threw in there.
Yeah, yeah. And listen, I understand that completely. You're going to get covered in ketchup and mustard like Pinto Ron does. You're going to want to hose yourself off after, right? You don't want to come into your house. Like, not everyone just has access to a shower, maybe on like a first floor or something like that, dude. It could be a nightmare to clean up. And if it's going to be done the right way, he will be covered in ketchup and mustard. We will make sure of that. Student Body Right will absolutely make sure that happens. So, Matt,
better you than me, Matt. Better you than me.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I would do that. Kev, I tried to bait you all season, dude. Pinto Kev would have been epic. After having to wear the Zubas face paint and then turn into Pinto Kev. Are you kidding me, dude?
Yeah, that's a little too much Bills interaction for me for one season.
You know, that's actually how people in Buffalo christen their babies, dude. It's not holy water. It's ketchup and mustard at a Bills tailgate, dude. Yeah. So
good stuff.
Father, son, you draw the little, you get the ash on your head. It's ash. Now it's Pinto Ron Friday, dude. Yeah, anyways. Poor Matt. But awesome divisional round. Oh man, we cleaned up. We'll talk about our bets. I think maybe the best thing to do, Kev, is just go in order and talk about these games, dude. First one up, the Texans, who closes a 3-point underdog, trounced the Chargers 32-12 at home. Justin Herbert throws 4 interceptions. Hell, he had 3 in the season coming into this game. Dude, what a sloppy, insane game that turned into a blowout.
Yeah, that well, you hit the nail on the head on that one. And I was totally wrong. Did not see that Houston defense manhandling the Chargers like they did. Will Anderson, there was a couple times that Herbert didn't have a chance of even dropping back. They were in his lap. 4 interceptions in that game. He only had 3 interceptions on the entire season going into that game.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's dissect that. Like, okay, is it because they dug themselves a hole? It's playoffs. It's do or die. And he's just chucking it. Cause that's my feeling on it, dude. I don't think What do you think first and foremost? And we'll dive into Herbert chat.
I'd have to go back, and I'm trying to think of the scoring. It was close at half, so they should not have
half. Yep.
Yeah, they should not have given up on the run game. They should not have gotten away from hardball football yet at that point. So if they did that, then that's a little bit, that's a little bit play call. It's a little bit coaching. If they're getting away from running the football, which is kind of what they do, to put Herbert in that spot. Now, one of the picks, the guy was a drop ball. The one that they were a little coincident, but it happens. You know what I mean? He overthrew the one to McConkey and, intercepted pick 6.
Yep.
So they should not have abandoned their play because it was not a blowout until, the end of the second half. So,
okay. So let's go. Let's talk through it. Like, so Houston, CJ Stroud throws one when the Chargers are up 6-0. The next play, Herbert threw one, right?
Right back. Yep.
Not great. Luckily, it went punt from there. Houston ended up going to half 10-6. And then let's see, Houston punts on the next play. The Chargers throw a pick 6, right? Next set of downs, dude, 4 plays later, another interception. So yeah, dude, it got ugly quick. They turned that one into a field goal. The Houston Texans did. Chargers then went 3 plays, 70 yards, touchdown, and that was the Ladd McConkey score. Then Houston answered with a huge 14-play, 7-minute drive, another interception. I don't, dude. I'm seeing all over X and social media, Justin Herbert sucks. He's this, he's that, dude. He's really got one guy to throw the ball to.
Yeah.
So they two massive could have been first downs. Disley dropped, which is not.
Yep.
Ladd McConkey went 9 for 197, dude. They have one guy to throw the damn ball to, and they couldn't run it. Like, I don't know, man.
Listen to these
turnovers.
Yeah, listen to these targets. So Ladd McConkey, 14 targets. He had 9 catches, 197 yards, and a touchdown. After that, Disley, 5 targets.
Yep.
DJ Chark, 4 targets. That's your next. That's it. There was 2 other guys had 1 target after that. Now they got rid of their weapons. They got rid of Mike Williams. They got rid of Keenan Allen. That was their
Quentin
plan.
Johnson had 5 targets. No catches. Quentin Johnston, 5 targets.
Yeah, zero catches. Yeah.
What happened to that dude, man? TCU, they had that awesome season, and then like this dude's been a dud.
He's it'd be interesting to go back on his college tape. I'm willing to bet he is not a good route runner, never has been. He's just been a physical type guy.
Yeah.
And hey, if you can't run routes, you can't do the little things to get open, these DBs will eat you alive.
Yep.
And that's exactly what Stingley did. Oh, Stingley,
dude,
he's
like
like top
good.
He might be the top corner in the league. I mean, he's good. Top 3, he's top there, 3, probably 4.
Yep. Put Benford up there.
2 picks.
Yeah, no, yeah, he's a beast, dude. Stroud really turned it up at the end of the second half. Ended up looking like a much more competent quarterback. Nico Collins went 7 for a buck 22 and a tud on 8 targets. I mean,
they ran the ball better with Mixon. 25 carries, 106 yards. When they don't run the ball, they're toast. Like throughout the year, if Mixon has not gone off, they have been in trouble.
I tried telling Jake, dude. I tried telling him, and I don't have that clip to play. We put it out on our socials. It's everywhere. But dude, the handicap for this game, they were gonna be able to get the run game going. Mixon 25 carries, 106 yards. Stroud went 6 for 42. Pierce went 2 for 15. They ran for a $168. I mean, that's the bread and butter, man. And then, dude, how about Robert Woods, dude? A little Robert Woods mini ladder. Started at 10 yards, man.
Bobby Trees.
Dude, Bobby Trees, 2 for 22, dude. Cash that shit.
Yeah, this game was
best bet. Woo!
This was the only bet I missed on my best bet graphic was the Houston Chargers under 42.5. So
yeah, that's a bad beat. Dude, that's a bad beat too, because Houston kicked that field goal going into halftime because the Chargers went like 3 and out.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then Houston got it down quick and kicked the field goal. You should have won that bet. Speaking of, dude, maybe we pull up our best bet graphics real quick.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah. So best bets, I hit the Philly -4.5, hit the Washington +3. They obviously won outright, and then missed on the Chargers. Houston under 42.5. Hit my parlay, Washington money line, Rams money line +392.
How about it?
And then Neffy special, Baltimore pick'em, Buffalo easy, and Washington +13 outright winner. So, like I said, that Houston Chargers the only one that got me. I was way off on that game. Jesse, you were the only one I think on the right side of that one from the show, right?
Yeah. Jake, I think, was all over the Chargers. I believe I don't have his. Dude, oh, my bad, dude.
Gotcha.
I didn't miss a bet. Didn't miss a bet on the card, dude. Philly Green Bay under 46, cash it. Houston +3, cash it. Rams +2, cash it. Philly -3.5, Houston +3.5, +183, cash it. Neffy special teaser, Houston +13, Rams +12, and then your favorite, Pittsburgh Baltimore under 53.5. Woo!
One bet missed between both of our
how about
cards
it?
Here? Nice.
No one to blame.
It's a
dude.
nice.
No one to blame.
There.
You don't want to pull up Jake's card. Jake took over our show, dude. Jake had a rough wildcard weekend, man. Just kidding, Jake. We love you, dude. So let's move on. Next game, Kev. Houston's moving on to play Kansas City. That's gonna be a barn burner there. I believe KC is 7.5-point favorites right now. That's tough. We'll do our preview later this week. We're not sure on the date or time yet. We're looking at maybe a possible Friday night show for No One to Blame. Third and Manageable is going to be on Saturday. Buffalo Blueprint will also be on Friday night. That's the goal right now, I think, is to get it into Friday night. We'll put that out on socials. But next game, the nightcap on Saturday, dude. Ravens, they close as I think 8-9 point favorite at home to Pittsburgh. And they absolutely just wiped the field with them. 28-14 victory. This game was over at halftime, dude. It was 21-0. Ravens took their foot off the gas and just ran it down their throats. Pinto Matt, shout out Pinto Matt, is gonna be covered in ketchup, dude. I wonder what jersey he's gonna pick. You think he's gonna go with like a Ray Lewis, like a throwback, maybe a Flacco?
He's gonna go whatever's discount. He might be able to get a Deontay Johnson half price jersey, maybe.
He had a catch for Houston.
So did you see they just cut him? Yeah. So
Houston cut him?
So he had one catch in that game, didn't play hardly at all, was throwing a fit in the locker room. They won a playoff game. He is throwing the players had to try to calm him down. Yeah, Houston cut him. These Pittsburgh, I don't know what they do in Pittsburgh with their wideouts, man.
Nothing good.
Deontay Johnson was the one that everybody thought was like,
it's supposed to be chill.
Like fine. He's been on 5 teams this year. 5 teams since last season. That's crazy.
If he could turn his shit around, dude, he'd be perfect.
Oh, he's
Buffalo,
done,
dude.
He's
we would
done.
love it. I would love it
done.
if he could. I would let Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott vet him. If he could pass the process test, dude, Brandon Buffalo would be a perfect slot receiver, dude.
No, he's not better than anybody you got. He's not better than the guys you got. He's not. He's not better than Shakir. Keon Coleman's a rookie. There's no way I'd bring him into that wide receiver room. Zero chance.
He could change his attitude, which is a big if. He could
risk
be an impact player on any team, dude. The Raiders should be looking at him.
Nope. Oh, they'll look at him because he's terrible, and he'll fit in perfect.
Dude. So yeah, the Ravens, man, Lamar 16-21, $175, 2 tuds. Lamar went 15 carries for 81 yards.
82,
Henry
yeah,
went 26 carries for $186 and 2 scores. Baltimore ran it 50 times for 299 yards. Five
That's
different
crazy.
dudes. Did you ever hear of Steven Sims?
Nope.
I didn't even see that play.
Not at all.
15-yard run. They only had 16 receptions on that team. How about, okay, let's flip to Pittsburgh real quick. Russ cooked, right? 20 for 29, 270 tuds. Looks great on paper. Dude, throwing moon balls left and right. Like, I don't know, man. It's just, what is Pittsburgh going to do? And we'll talk more in the season about this, but what would you do if you were
So that number, like 20 of 29 with the moon, that works, but they have no running game to go play action off of it. They just don't.
11 carries for 29 yards.
The craziest stat coming out of this game, though, TJ Watt, 193 consecutive snaps without recording a single stat. No sack, no tackle, no assist. I'm assuming he's hurt. The dude's one of the best defensive players in the game.
Yeah.
He's got to be hurt. Yeah, not a single stat.
Holy shit, I'm looking at it right now. Not even a tackle.
Nope, nothing. Not assist, nothing.
What?
He's got to be hurt.
Good pickup.
So if he literally can win them games. And previously, like, he would wreck games for them. When you get that from him, they don't stand a chance. Kev,
190. How many games did that span? Do you know? 3 games?
I'm not sure. It was a couple games, 2.5, something like that, I think.
197 snaps. That's a lot. Yeah, Wow. Dude, that makes a lot of sense as to why they're skidding a little bit. If he's hurt, man, they go as TJ Watt goes, which is odd for a football team.
And you can go back. We talked about it on one of the shows, and I remember we talked about their division schedule did not start until the second half of the season, and that's when they lost 5 straight going into the playoffs. So they beat teams they should have beat early. They've got to figure some stuff out at the quarterback position, at the running back position. Defensively, they're getting a little old at a couple positions, and it's the same old story. They're not bad enough to draft high to get a quarterback. They can't figure out the quarterback position. Since basically the last 3 years of Big Ben, where he was kind of not just a shell of himself, Tomlin has got them winning with subpar teams, and it's kind of masked a little bit of what they got going on with the fight of, should they fire Tomlin? Should they keep him? I could go either side of that. He's probably war is welcome out there. But you could also say he hasn't had a quarterback, but he's also the person that's getting the quarterback because he takes care of personnel. So he's not getting himself a quarterback. So
they're in a tough spot there. That's for sure. I mean, they drafted Pickett, let him go right away. I mean, I don't envy that. 6 straight postseason losses for Tomlin dating back to 2017. They've been outscored by 96 points in those games. I mean, dude, that's a lot.
But if you so this will go into. Think right now, question for you. How many top 5 drafted quarterbacks were in this year's playoffs?
I don't know.
So you've got the Texans with CJ Stroud, which is recent, so he's still young. You've got Jaden Daniels, rookie. You've got Baker Mayfield, but he's on his 4th, 5th team. So, you can say what you want about that. He's playing great now, but, the Vikings, Sam Darnold, been on his 3, 4 teams now, picked 3rd overall.
7th overall.
Rams, Matthew Stafford, top 5, and then Goff with the Lions. So you brought it up. That's top 5, but the best quarterbacks in these playoffs, your MVP caliber guys, Josh Allen 7, Lamar Jackson 32, Patrick Mahomes 10. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to be in the top 5 to get a quarterback. You just
Agreed.
you just don't. People act like, like the Raiders, for instance. Oh, they're at 6, they can't get a quarterback. Really? Like, Patrick. Yeah, I don't buy it. The teams just they don't want to take it because they just once they get in the middle of that draft, I don't know if they feel like it's not worth it or what. But
right,
you got second, third round picks in these playoffs at quarterback position. You got Russ Wilson. You got 32. You got Lamar. Love was a late one. Jalen Hurts was a second.
So Jackson Dart to the Steelers, dude? Is that what we're talking about?
Not if the Raiders take him at 6.
You want it to happen, it won't happen, dude.
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah, absolutely not.
Ravens traveling to Buffalo Sunday at 6:30 will be the last game of the divisional round. Rematch. We're going to dive into it, dude. Buffalo opened as a 1.5-point favorite. Yeah. Baltimore is the favorite now, which we had predicted on the post game. That was pretty easy. Going to be a tough one, dude. As a Bills fan, super nervous yet confident. I don't know if the nerves are coming from the fact that no doubt, Albini. Good looks in the Warren receptions prop. He went 4 for 19. I had him at a parlay, Warren over, I think, what did we have him at? I had Warren
Arthur
3
Smith.
receptions.
Yeah, Arthur Smith will do that to you.
Yeah. Warren 3 receptions, 20 receiving yards I had as a plus 108 parlay. He ended up with 4 for 19. That one sucked. But yeah, dude, Bills Mafia, we're going to be loud, dude. It's going to be a tough environment for Lamar. It's going to be cold. It's going to be into the teens. This is what we do. And legend of the game, dude, we're bringing out Ryan Fitzpatrick. I predicted that in the post game. I think it was maybe an obvious one, dude. But, dude, he's going to fire this up. You know he's going to be shirtless. It's going to be an awesome, awesome game. Yeah. And
Bills by a billion. Yep.
Bills by a billion. This is our spot, dude. Last time we played the Ravens in the playoffs, Taron Johnson picked Lamar off. 98-yard house call. Lamar's going to have a rough game, dude. Calling it right now. Anyways, enough talking about that. Let's talk more about the Bills. Bills and the Broncos. Bills closed as a 7-point favorite, I think. They opened as a 9.5-point favorite. Trounced the Broncos 31-7. Now, 4 or 5 plays into this game, Broncos throw a bomb to Troy Franklin. No one saw that coming. It's like a 40, 50-yard bomb. Troy Franklin, touchdown, 7-0. If you're a Bills fan, dude, you're used to this. All year long, our scripted defense, dude, it's been talked about on other Bills podcasts. Third and Manageables talked about it. Buffalo Blueprints talked about it. And Don and Jake have went on and on about it. I don't know why we love playing from behind. I don't know. It's like we want to see what they're running and then we'll adjust to it after they score. I don't get it. Now the adjustments are great.
That's what I was getting ready to say. We've talked about this, and you say that, and then you look at the score, and that's the only time they scored. So, like, there's a method to his madness. I get, I kind of get it. I'm sure, but as a fan, I'm sure it's a little worrisome.
Oh, it's so frustrating, dude, because we've watched our defense crumble in the playoffs. And when that happened, I was just like, okay,
here we go.
Okay. Deep breaths, we're not going to panic. The panic button's there, but we're not pressing it. I mean, shit, it was a couple minutes into the game, dude. You can't freak out then. Bills go on to win 31-7. James Cook, 23 carries, $120 on the ground and a tud. Dude, Josh Allen, 20 for 26, 272, 2 touchdowns. He also ran it 8 times for 46 yards. Yeah. I mean, We
Tell you what,
we did all this with the defense not having a turnover. We didn't get a fumble. We didn't recover a fumble. We didn't have an interception, and we beat them 31-7, dude. Like, and they were the ones that have the defense. You know, they sacked Josh, I think, twice. They led the league in sacks. I think one was his fault. One might have been his fault. I don't know, man. You're as an outsider looking at this game. What were you thinking?
They talked about it before the game. You know, that Bills or that Denver defense, you know, obviously was really good, getting after quarterback sacks, but they were a little light in their front seven, and it showed. The Bills just mauled them. There was a couple times that the guards were driving the D tackle 7 yards down the field. James Cook, 23 carries, 120 yards. They manhandled that defensive front for Denver, and they weren't able to kind of get in the game script where they could pin it back and just rush the quarterback because the Bills were just running it and kind of took the game script and took control of it and basically handled them. I'll tell you what, the one thing I heard on the broadcast, Shakir, I would not have thought this. We talked about Shakir is second in the NFL behind only Jamar Chase and Yak yards after the catch. Baby. That is, dude, a young, he gets it done, dude. He does not drop the ball. He makes every catch, positive yards every time. Josh he goes to him. He has been
blue collar
huge
wide
for that
receiver,
offense.
Kev, from Boise State, man. It's one of our sneaky draft picks that we had a couple of years back. He's really developed, and we saw it. He got it was like a third down play. He got hit, should have got dropped, and ended up getting 5, 6, 7 more yards. And all of a sudden, you see the defense come up, dude, and they're fired up. This team, dude, they play for each other. It's a true team. All three phases. Clap it up. Everyone hates the McDermott clap so much, dude. But they're just they're not trusting the process, dude. A lot of guys out there not trusting the process.
You're not one of them.
I don't know, dude. To be determined. We'll see how far McDermott.
Week to week.
I mean, we're 1-3 in the divisional round with McDermott, dude. 0-1 in AFC Championship games. Like,
who did? Do you off the top of your head?
We
you
can
know
talk
you
about
lost
that last
to
week.
Okay.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, who are you losing to in them games? Though, was it the Chiefs once? Anyway, Chiefs I feel like
twice.
That's what I mean.
Like, AFC Championship.
You know,
both the 13 seconds was divisional. Last year was divisional against the Chiefs. The Chiefs.
So that's my point. Is you know, it's you're not losing to shit teams or getting, you know. Anyway. Here you go. You got Bengals and then Chiefs twice. And that Bengals team was rolling that year.
That game sucked, dude.
So
the process takes too long. Yeah, we know where the group chat. This is a very contentious topic in the group chat. I was at my parents' house for that Bengals game and got very upset, and they basically told me to leave. So I was yelling at the TV, and they're like, "Dude, what are you doing?" I'm like, That
was the year. I think that was the year the Raiders lost to the Bengals in the first round, and then they ended up,
because DeMar went down, and then we had, ugly stuff, dude, ugly stuff. But Buffalo on Sunday, dude, they could turn it all around, man. And I don't even want to say the 3-letter word, but I'm going to. All this MVP talk, dude. What better way to just shut everyone the F up, dude, and Bills just go and get it done, man. And hey, one last thing about this game. I know we went long, but you know, we are a Buffalo podcast or a Buffalo network. We didn't have Matt Milano. We didn't have Taron Johnson. We didn't have Bernard. We didn't have Von Miller the first time we played the Ravens. So that's both of our starting linebackers. That's our slot corner, one of the best slot corners in the league. And then, you know, Von Miller is, I don't know, a little bit of an impact, right? He can do something. So I'm just saying, you know, if you get the Ravens fans are delusional at best. So It's going to be a good game, dude, and I'm pumped for it. Eagles took care of the Packers at home. Eagles closed as a 5.5-point favorite, I believe, depending on where you're looking, what book you're using. They won 22-10 against the Packers, the shorthanded Packers, dude, and then they ended up losing guys throughout the game. The Eagles, Slay got hurt. Slay came back. Dean got hurt, did not come back. I think he's toast. So the Eagles got this victory, dude, but at what cost? Right?
Yeah, you got, the injuries. Brown had one catch. He was kind of ranting and raving, reading his book on the sideline, whatever.
Dude. How are you going to dude, he had 3 targets. How are you only going to target this guy 3 times? I don't understand it. They won. They're winning.
I think it was
good, but
yeah. Barkley had 25 carries, 119. I just think they're running the ball. They're minimal throws. He threw the ball. He was 13-21. Hurts was minimal throws. Dude, it's a game where as a stud wide receiver, hey, we won it. We're in the playoffs. We're moving to the next round. If there comes a time when they have to throw the ball, they are going to target him. He's got to understand that.
I think he does.
Hopefully he does.
How about Saquon not running that last one all the way to the house? Bettors were pissed.
As a better, yeah, you're pissed. Yep.
Well, even AJ Brown was. Teammates were like, dude, it's not like they were up by just a little bit and they had to go down like 3 points, 7 points. Dude, they were up 12 points. Run that in, dude. Get some momentum going into the next game.
What were they?
Galvanize the locker room a little bit.
Yeah, I think he did it because they at that point they got the first down. They could run the clock out. It's over.
Go score the touchdown, dude. That's all I'm saying. It's the playoffs, bro.
Yeah,
he could have almost hit 200 yards with that.
He would have been. I think at 100. It was a 70. It was like a 70-something yard run. It was going to be 190. He was going to be like 195 yards rushing. Yeah. I don't know. Whatever.
Dude.
Yeah.
I know, but
man.
Listen, if I was a Philadelphia Eagles fan, I would have been pissed, dude. I would have been, dude, take it to the house. Give the fans something at home to celebrate too, right? It was a boring game as it was. They're winning, yes.
Yeah.
I get all that, and I had the under 46. Shout out me. Jordan Love, 3 interceptions, bro. Oh,
hey,
Jaden Reed went down in this game.
They won't talk about it or they won't mention it, but man, they were in a position where they had to extend Love with that new contract. And they had to do it. I'm not saying that was the wrong move because at the time, they just had to do it because of the Rodgers situation. But man, we'll see if he comes back next year and is healthy and they kind of get it back on track. But he did not look good.
No, he didn't. And now this Philly defense is stout, dude. They're stout. We talked about. I'm pretty sure Nakobe Dean is going to be out. Yeah, he's out. He's on IR.
Yep.
Slay came back. I don't see an injury designation on him right now. So, anyways, Philadelphia is going to be hosting the Rams at home, which is going to be a good game. But if you're a Packers fan, you saw. Obviously, we'll talk about the Minnesota, but Minnesota, went 14-3. Detroit's a wagon. Chicago's got a bunch of talent on their team, and they should be better once they get a better head coach. If you're Green Bay, are you doing anything in the offseason? Are you adding? Are you just more defense? Because I thought their defense played well this year.
I mean,
it's just a tough spot for them, right?
They added McKinney, and they added Josh Jacobs this season, which
Jacobs had an awesome year.
Jacobs was great. McKinney, I think's his name. I can't remember his first name.
Yep.
Defensively,
Xavier,
he was good. So they were key acquisitions that worked. You know what I mean? The free agent guys they picked up that panned out. You know what I mean? They actually worked, which sometimes free agency in the NFL is a coin toss. But it just wasn't enough to kind of put them over the top. The main thing is man, they got to figure out the wide receiver room. They can't stay healthy.
Yeah, dude.
They got
guys
young,
went out there in this game.
they're still the youngest roster in the NFL back-to-back seasons. So they need to figure out that wide receiver room, the health of it. They've got the players. They just couldn't stay healthy. And
I agree. I don't know that
defense.
you. Yeah, I agree.
don't mess
I
with
don't
it
know
too
that
much.
you need to do much, dude. I mean, I don't
No.
think you have to do much if you're a Green Bay fan. I mean, you're in a tough division. You got to sack up, dude. You know,
I
it's
think,
just
I think
gotta
a
win
lot
the
of
games.
teams. I think a lot of teams are a little too quick to change. Change up. Get fed up with a guy, move on, sign a bunch of guys. Dude, they've got a young roster, talent on the
Yeah.
team. They just got to grow, get old, add a couple pieces. I think they're good.
Yeah, they went down 10-0 in this game. They lost their center. The game before, they lost Christian Watson. I mean, during the game, they lost Jaden Reed, Romeo Dobbs. I mean, it was tough for them, man. They had so many injuries. I think they'll be fine. They had a good year. I think they'll be fine. I'd expect Green Bay to be in the playoffs. They've got a young nucleus. I'd expect them to be in the playoffs for years to come, even in that division. Philly at home to the Rams. Philly opened as a 6-point favorite, dude, which I thought was immediately high, but Philly beat them by 17 earlier this year. We'll talk more about that preview here in a minute, but it's something to think about. The nightcap on Sunday night, dude. Tampa Bay hosted the Commanders. Commanders came in as a 3-point underdog. I hammered Commanders. Money line late that night. Didn't post the plays, whatever. Don't at me. Commanders win last second field goal, 23-20. Many people thought this would be the highest scoring game of the weekend. I'm pretty sure only one game went over the total, dude, and that's the one that you bet the under.
Yeah, of course.
And it only went under by 2 points, but yeah, dude, Commanders win 23-20. Oh, this was a great game, dude.
This was the best game. Yeah, it was the best game of the weekend.
Right?
Yeah.
As far as a true like good competitive game goes, this definitely was.
Yeah. And Jay Daniels, 268 passing, 2 TDs. He had 36 rushing, no rushing TDs. Man, Baker, he's 15 of 18. It just was a little off for Tampa on offense. He had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
but it wasn't. They
only ran 40 plays, Kev. They ran 43 plays, like 18 passes, 25 rush. Bucky Irving didn't get to his rushing prop. He went 17 for 77. Washington played great against the run, dude. And with that happening, they've got some good young pieces. Mike Sanristil, their draft pick from Michigan, dude. I wanted this kid in Buffalo. He's a DB. He's an animal, dude. He played so good against these Tampa Bay wideouts. Now, Tampa Bay made this much noise this year, Kev, and didn't have Godwin for more than half the season. I mean, what are they doing?
He was good before he got hurt. Yeah.
He was better than Evans statistically.
Yeah.
What does Tampa Bay's quick outlook look like to you?
Evans obviously is older. He's going to be there. Is he going to continue to be the same guy? He'll be good. He'll demand attention. But man, if Godwin can't stay healthy, they need some weapons on that offense. The running back room I think is fine. Defensively, there was stretches of the season they were bad. There were stretches of the season they were good. So, I don't know. They're almost like a little bit of an older version of Green Bay. Like, I don't know what they really need to do. Obviously, they got to add, I think, some wide receivers, but.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting older, dude. Godwin and Evans are both getting older. Their defense is getting a little bit older. I mean, they're now, luckily, they play in a pretty bad division. I think the NFC South is worse. NFC South, AFC South. Pick your poison there, but both those divisions are pretty bad. I think NFC is probably worse. I mean, they're going to be in it. They have the right pieces. Bucky Irving, obviously a rookie. McMillan came on towards the end, which I thought was good. If Evans and Godwin come back next year and they got McMillan, three-headed monster, Cade Otton seemed to turn it up a little bit, right? Like, I think they'll be all right moving forward. Washington, though, dude, I'm excited about this team, dude.
You know, the only thing that caught my attention in this Washington game that was a little worrisome if I was a Washington fan was there was multiple fourth downs in this game that they went for.
Yeah.
And there was specifically one of them. They were down 4 and they went for it on 4th and I can't remember 4th. And it wasn't a 4th and 1 and under. It was a, 4th and 2. It was like and they went for it. They were in clear field goal range. And there was about 10 minutes to go in the game, maybe. So it wasn't like the end of the game. It wasn't, but they went for it, didn't get it. If they would have kicked the field goal, they would have been down 1 point. Then they would have just needed a field goal to go ahead. So there was just a couple coaching decisions in that game that I thought were I think they just were feeling Jaden Daniels and they're like, we're just going to let him go and try to get him. That was the only thing that caught my attention.
5 minutes left in the game, and that drive went 12 plays, 67 yards. So they had some momentum. Kicking a field goal would have made it 17-16. They went for it, dude. And I think going for it there is probably analytically, statistically the call. Hodge coming in. Bulls is trash head coach. Yeah.
I think I agree with that. Yeah. I do think I agree with that take.
Yeah. I mean, maybe this Tampa.
He reminds me
better, but
when he's on the sideline, he just looks like he's got this look like he's lost.
I know. Yeah. The body language for Bulls. It's just like, what's his name? Just got fired for the Patriots.
Jared Mayo, Gerard Mayo.
They just look like confused and lost on the sideline. Like, what's going on? What down is it? Where am I? But yeah, dude, they gave it over on downs. Now, luckily, Tampa Bay got it back, or Washington got it right back as Tampa Bay fumbled and Washington punched one in for the go-ahead touchdown. Tampa Bay then went down and tied it up with a field goal, and then Washington wins it with a field goal. Awesome game, dude. Washington now visiting Detroit. I think this is the highest spread on the board. I think Detroit is like a 9-point favorite, maybe. I think that the team's too young. Too many new pieces on this team. New head coach, new offensive coordinator, new GM, new quarterback. New. I think they've had a good run. I think everyone knows what's about to happen to them, though, right?
Yeah, and actually Daniels, he started off slow in that game. So if he does that against Detroit, that ain't going to be good. So
I'm excited about Washington's future, and I think Terry McLaurin's got to be a top 2 round draft pick next year, dude. I love the connection I saw from them.
Yep.
We're going to get into all of the drafting and fantasy, real draft, fantasy draft, all the offseason. Do champions, no one to blame. Buffalo Blueprint, coast to coast. We got you guys covered, man. Third and manageable. The whole offseason, dude. It's going to be football, baby. Now, no one to blame. We're going to be dabbling a little college basketball, some hockey. I had some English Premier League going today that I didn't post. I'm starting to dabble a little bit in some soccer.
What about that table tennis? You got that table tennis?
I haven't dialed up table. Dude, table tennis goes off at such weird hours, dude. It's we'll see, man. We'll see. But we had West Ham defeated Fulham today, plus 188 in the money line, plus 115 on the 3-way. How about it, dude? I think we're gonna be in good shape, man.
Had a little bit of an upset in college hoops tonight. Ole Miss, number 21, upset number 4 Alabama, beat them by 10.
Where was that game played?
Alabama.
Interesting. Wow. So they're doing it on the hardwood and on the football field now. That's not good for Tide fans, dude.
Yeah, roll Tide. High tide. High tide.
Yeah, baby. Let's round out this divisional, dude. The Rams hosted the Vikings. Game played in Arizona. Rams closed as a 2-point underdog. The line shifted when it was moved to Arizona. It was a pick 'em, shifted to Vikings -2. And it was loud. There was a shit ton of Vikings fans there, way more than there was Rams fans, I would say. Dude, the Rams took it to them, dude. 24-3 at halftime. This was all Rams all the time. Sam Darnold out there seeing ghosts, just as you predicted, man. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
What are your takeaways from this, man?
It was the game script got out of hand for Minnesota. Like you just said, when they went up that big and Darnold had 40 pass attempts, you don't want him throwing the ball 40 times.
Hell no.
So, yeah, 1 TD, 1 interception, 9 sacks. That defensive front for the Rams, man, they get after it.
For 82 yards, dude.
Yeah, they get after it.
9 sacks for a loss of 82 yards. Fisk and Verse for the Rams are awesome, dude.
They're
Shout out
young
the Rams.
and they get after you.
Oh, hell yeah.
That'll be interesting to see that matchup next week with Philly. That O-line going up against Philly O-line going up against that defensive front. See if they can still cause havoc in stopping the run. You know what I mean? Getting after the quarterback's one thing, stopping the run is a whole different beast.
You're the perfect person to ask this question to, because you were first and foremost a St. Louis Rams fan before you're a Raiders fan.
Yep.
I think when the Raiders moved, you could tell.
Well, I was a Raiders fan before the Rams moved to St. Louis, so I was a Raiders fan first. But then when the Rams moved in, when I was in like junior high, we rooted for the home team when they moved in.
Greatest show on turf. Anytime I picture the Rams, dude. Anytime, it's always indoors. Always indoors, dude. Now they're going to the Link. Dude, I don't know, man. I don't like their chances. I think they got a tough matchup, dude, against the Eagles. Stafford looked great. He ate up that Minnesota defense just like we thought he was going to. Kyron went for 1676. He caught a touchdown. We were all over this game. I put out 18 bets on X. I'm gonna pull this up while you adjust the camera real quick. I put out 18 bets on X, dude. And I don't do this for all of them, but it was the Monday Night Football was the last one. Why not, dude? Rams +2, Rams money line. Then I went to Higbee, dude. Higbee started this game off amazing before he got hurt. Higbee receiving ladder, Higbee reception ladder, cashed all 7 of those. Darnold to throw an interception, cash it. Hawkinson touchdown +200, cash it. Hawkinson longest reception over 17.5, cash it. Naylor over 19.5 receiving yards, cash it. I think Jones ended up with 12 receiving yards, didn't get us there. And then I threw four dart throws at the first touchdown, dude. Higbee should have gotten the 1. Did not. It was +2,200. But, dude, was all over it, man. I also gave out on the show Hawkinson over 40 receiving yards. I had a Jalen Naylor receiving yard ladder. Naylor ended up going for 3 for 33, so hit 2 rungs there as well. Dude, this game was the most profitable game of the year for me. Out of control. Everything's lined up. We finally got some good fireworks for some player props. And quickly, I hit Javonte Williams. I hit that bottom rung there. Isaiah Likely, we gave this out in the show. He went 3 for 53, cashed 3 rungs there. And then Bobby Woods, dude, he went 2 for 22, cashed 2 rungs there.
Bobby Trees.
Gotta love it, dude. Gotta love it. Your bottom bet on your ladders. And this is why I love it. If you love a prop bet and you're absolutely in love with it, dude, play the ladder. Play the prop bet for a unit, and then ride the ladder for 0.1 units up 5 or 6 rungs. You know what I mean? Like, you're still going to come out. Your bottom one's always going to come out on top. You love it, dude. We're just cashing these ladders. We're just dialed in, dude. And I'm digging it. Obviously, I'm digging it. The account's digging it. Sam
Bank
Darnold,
account.
dude. Sam Darnold, how is he moving forward, dude? What team is going to be taking Sam Darnold's services?
Yeah,
because it ain't going to be
there was a lot of chatter today. Dan Orlowski was all over everybody except Darnold. He thought he was. I think he said he was the fourth or fifth reason this game got out of hand. He did not think because to his point, he was getting pressured. He was, it was the offensive line. But regardless, the optics of it, he looked like old Darnold, and he cost himself
the last two games, right?
Bunch of money. Two biggest games of the year, two playoffs type scenarios. He looked like the old Darnold.
31-9 and 27-9, dude.
Yeah, he was definitely old Darnold seeing ghosts. What I say in the chat? Who you gonna call? Yeah, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters, because Darnold seeing ghosts, man. He did not. Man. He looked frazzled. He got off his spot. They got him off his spot, man, and he did not step up as you talked about. He couldn't roll out. He was literally dropping straight back, losing big chunks of yards on these sacks.
Yep. Not great, dude. Now they also have Daniel Jones they picked up during the season. They were going to start JJ McCarthy. So I don't know, man. If he progresses well, do they start him next year?
I know I think what I would do is you let Darnold walk.
Can't pay him.
You drafted the guy you wanted in JJ McCarthy. I don't like JJ McCarthy, but they chose him. They wanted him. I think you let Darnold walk. Danny Dimes starts the season if JJ's not ready, and then JJ goes after that. I don't know because you could. My point is you could get Danny Jones could sign a minimal deal. He could be the starter.
I don't know what he's saying.
Then go to JJ. I think he's done after this year. I think they'll have to resign him. But if I'm Daniel Jones, I think I would want to stay under Kevin O'Connell in that offense, take a year, go into that, and then, try to get him another backup deal somewhere. But I think you move on from Darnold if you're Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel Jones got paid. I'd have to look into that a little bit more. So I think he was getting.
He cleared waivers. He cleared waivers, and they signed him. Yeah, they signed him to a 1-year deal, like minimum. Yeah, whatever it was.
And he was behind Nick Mullins as well. You can't forget Nick Mullins is there. Nick Mullins has actually played pretty well at times for them too.
Yep, spots for them.
Not going to be your starter, but I don't know what.
Just to get you to McCarthy, I don't know what McCarthy's health. If he's going to be ready for day one, I don't remember. I haven't heard.
So, quick predictions, Kev. We could round out this show. Quick divisional predictions here. You got the Texans facing the Chiefs first on Saturday. Chiefs winning that game?
Yeah. I think I could sneakily see Houston cover, maybe. I'm just that defense pressure. If they get that pressure on Mahomes, but that's a
Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes on a 2-week bye, dude.
2 week off.
For this. Come on, bro. Yep. The spread's -8 now. Detroit's going to handle their business against the Commanders, -9.5.
Yep.
Eagles -6. I don't know what I'm doing with that game yet with the number, but I do think the Eagles are probably going to move on. I just, Rams outside. That's a very tough game for them. And then Ravens Bills, dude. I don't know. Flip a coin as far as I'm concerned in this game. My heart's telling me to place a bet on the Ravens just so I just so I don't have to deal with it, right?
Reverse that
Yeah. But yeah, man. Why don't you go ahead and play that Altered Grounds show sponsor snow removal video for everybody.
Yeah, don't get caught slipping this winter. They're taking clients for commercial snow removal for 2025. If you got a business, need your parking lot, sidewalk cleared, hit them up. You can reach them at 618-972-9632. That's 618-972-9632. Contact them at altergroundslandscaping.com. They'll take care of you.
Love it, dude. Love it. Thank you to Alter Ground. Shout out, show sponsor. We'll get to our network sponsors in a minute. Make sure you check it out. Do Champions everywhere. Check out our channels, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X. Check out all our shows, Coast to Coast on Wednesdays, Third and Manageable, Buffalo Blueprint, No One to Blame twice a week, Buffalo Bills post-game shows. We're all over the place. We'll get you an update on when No One to Blame is going to be aired before this week. Make sure you get your bets in early. The lines are out now. Do not wait on these player prop bets. They always, always, always go up. Go start looking right now. Kev, good to be seen, brother.
Yeah, man. No one to blame. Playoffs coming up.
There's no one to blame, there really is no one to blame. But I swear to God, it's my fucking fault. It's a better sports podcast. It's my fucking fault, but there's no one to blame. Neffy Kevin do. Neffy Kevin do.
Do it.
Kevin
Don't listen to what I say or whatever kind of peer pressure I'm telling you.
Do it. Oh, fucking do it again.
I know there's really nobody to blame for this but myself. Well, I don't know, maybe the Buffalo Bills, the Boston Red Sox, or Mr. T, or the Jets.
Wait a minute, Mr. T, are you telling me that you bet on the fight in Rocky 3 and that you bet against Rocky?
Hindsight is 20/20, my friend.